Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This time I have a Galactic Legends Ray counter, and in my opinion this is the best cheap counter. I say cheap inside quotation marks because it uses General Skywalker and Jedi Knight Revan, which are, kind of not really cheap characters, but what I meant really by cheap is that it doesn't use Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, so it's fairly accessible for any veteran player, really. But yes, this is, in my opinion, the best counter to Rey because it works against pretty much every composition of Rey, except like one, and by that I mean it's the teams with Chewie that really cause this team a lot of problems. Like I think this one has Chewie. Yeah, like when Chewie is in there, this team just does not do well. For some reason, I think it's like the AoE dispel and lots of assisting that really throws it off. But against every other comp, it does really well. So first things first, I'm going to go through the mods and what is important for the modding. So Jedi Knight Revan, of course, it's going to be your leader. You need him to be fast, and what you need is his speed to be slower than Finn, but faster than Poe. And since both Jedi Knight Revan and Finn and Poe, they're all going to get plus 30 speed from their leads for this team that we're going to use. You don't have to take like the lead bonuses into account. Just put the raw speed in comparison and make sure that Jedi Knight Revan is in between Finn and Poe. Now, this is one thing that's important. Next one, it's going to be Hermit Yoda. Hermit Yoda, you don't need him to be relicked, but if you're going after Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, you're going to have him relicked. But if you haven't yet done that, it can still work with Hermit Yoda at gear 12. It just makes him a little bit more durable at gear 13, so I like it. Hermit Yoda, again, the exact same rule as Jedi Knight Revan. Fast, slower than Finn, faster than Poe. Mine is actually 309. He's faster than my Jedi Knight Revan. And for the team I'm going to show you, it's going to work because the guy has a really, really fast Finn. That's like 358 speed or something. Your next character is going to be General Skywalker, of course. Now, there are many ways to mod General Skywalker, and what I have found is the best way to mod for this character, for this particular team, is protection and health. Health would also help. I could get him to like around 210 health and protection combined, but I didn't want to give him too much health because in that case, like if you're using him under his own lead, he becomes like not as good because of Malik and stuff like that. So I tried to keep his health kind of low, but his protection should be really high, like above 120, maybe 130,000 protection if you can get there. But basically he should have over 190,000 health and protection combined for you to start seeing some good results. And the reason for that is that you don't want GAS to die on the Finn AoE. The speed doesn't really matter. Damage, mine is kind of on the low side. If you can get more damage with the protection mods, by all means do that. It's going to help you, but I couldn't really get that going, so I'm just doing with what I have. Your fourth character is going to be Bastila Shan, and she's a character that I like to run very, very fast, and that most people run pretty slow. And I find that speed on Bastila is actually great, because if Bastila can also go between Finn and Poe, it makes the counter, in my opinion, a lot better. You don't need Bastila to go between Finn and Poe like you do for Jedi Revan and Hermit Yoda, but I find that it still helps in this case. But yeah, like, she's a very slow character. She has 140 base speed, so I understand not everyone wants to give her like plus 140 speed like I do. And last but not least, it's going to be Grand Admiral Thrawn here. It's kind of unfortunate that he's used in so many Galactic Legends counters, but he's just so good. If you have Jedi Luke, he kind of replaces Thrawn, so you can keep Thrawn for like Supreme Leader Kylo or something. But I don't have mine geared yet, so most people don't have Luke, so I would prefer making a video on this team that's much more accessible. Now for Thrawn, there's one thing that's important. It's his speed, and you want him to be at least 50%, well, more than 50% of race speed, because you want Thrawn to get in there and get the fracture on Rey before she takes her second turn. Now, gear-wise for this team, Thrawn and Hermit Yoda you can deal with at gear 12. I would still recommend having them relicked because it makes them more durable in the off chance something goes wrong. But for General Skywalker, you need him Relic 7 without a doubt. And for Jedi Revan and Bastila, I would recommend Relic 4 minimum. Now let's just get into the battle. I asked my shardmate to swap him. Thank you, Bobbert. He had Chewie and as well, and he swapped it to Zeta Barris. Now it's a gear 12 Zeta Barris, but it's not going to change. I have beaten Relic 7 Zeta Barrises with this team. So let me just put my team in and we'll get into the battle. I'll try to explain. I probably won't have too much time to explain the strategy because this is a pretty long battle. So if I take too many pauses, I kind of run the risk of timing out. But I'll try to explain as much as I can along the way. So, simple strategy. She's going to do her whirlwind. They're going to attack gas, and this is why it's important to have Jedi Revan and Hermit Yoda to go between Finn and Poe, because you want to heal Gas's protection back up before Finn does his AoE, because if you can't heal him back up, he's going to trigger Saver from that AoE, and that is really not good for you. And see, here I'm going to survive that AoE, mass assist, because I had him modded for protection. And now you're going to fracture Rey. I don't know why General Kenobi's AI is super weird, and he always goes for Thrawn instead of Gas for some reason. I don't understand it, but what do I know? And here you just want to drop Rey's health as much as possible and heal your protection, because you want to survive by the time they get to their ultimate. Now here she has protection, so it's not going to help me to attack her more, so I'm going to give my second mark to Finn. If I did, she did not have protection, I would have given her the second mark as well. And here I'm just trying to heal back as much protection as I can on everyone to make sure that they can survive the ultimate from Ray. So just pass around strategic advantage, the TM swap from Thrawn, and all that good stuff. Just pass that around. I usually prefer to give the second Master's Training to Bastila just so I can get a few more ability blocks in there. But here I'm kind of worried about Revan. So I'm going to give it to him instead. And now alt, we survived barely, and that was a good choice to give the Master's Training to Revan, because he would not have survived without that. Although I did not trigger Savior, so I would have been fine, but still I prefer to have it be the safer way. Now, usually if Rey doesn't get protection back, you'll have drop her health a lot more, but it's still easy to get her down after she does her ult. It's not terribly difficult, and once Rey is down, it's really just a walk in the park of just cleaning up everything else. And yeah, and now I got a third Master's Training even. I'm not going to finish the battle again because I may want to do some more testing against him. But yeah, here goes your counter. It's very consistent once you mod and gear the team properly. And I would highly recommend that everyone build this counter because it's just fantastic. And really, it's really your best Ray counter that there is. So that's gonna do it for me for this video. Like the video if you did like it, and feel free to also subscribe if you haven't already. It just helps grow the channel and bring more visibility to these videos, so I just can help out more people. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, and I'll see you next time.